Dell in the building.
Oh, he got on.
What's good?
Mic check.
What up, boy?
Yo.
What's going on, man? Oh, man, you sound always like this.
What?
Yeah, what? There it goes. What time is it out there?
1 a.m.
Ew.
1:17.
What you doing up?
Hold on, you said it's 1:17 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yo, what them clubs look like over there at 1:17 in the morning?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I got no idea.
Yo, that brings back memories when I was in Korea, man. You know, there was a spot in Kunsan, man, the bowling alley. That was the joint. It was like the after party when you get off the bus, when the town patrol kick you off. Them hot wings was fire, bro, especially when you was a little inebriated.
Now there used to be what was it, Mustang and a Challenger over.
Oh, that's a whole sign, yeah. Why you change the camera, man?
Because it helps with shorts. When I'm trying to make shorts later, it helps me with shorts. If you would know if you would help out with that. But anyway, anything that comes from Unpopular Celebrity Podcast is all unofficial. None of the conversations or comments from us or guests represent DOD or the Armed Forces as a whole for our 3 remaining active duty members. There's one that just don't matter. She said, hey.
Don't do that. I'm an educator now, so we also have ethics.
Oh, not saying we don't. Dale, what's good, man?
Not much. I went to sleep and set my alarm for 12:30 because I went to sleep like at 9 o'clock tonight. So yeah, I wasn't out. So good. We just got done with inspections and stuff like that. So this time to relax and this job back in the field, you know.
Ain't no time to relax out there. It's all go.
No, not really. Yeah.
You
something
finally put on some mop gear or what?
Oh yeah, I got that.
Man, that's cap. That's such a lot, bro.
Hey, be ready.
You didn't put on no dang mop gear. You was hiding up in the bathroom somewhere.
No. I put it on. I got initiated real quick. Like first 2 weeks I was here.
Hit the Lori Club.
Exercise. Oh yeah,
what's the
Club.
They coming back from A-Town.
Yeah. There's an L Club.
What's an L Club?
It's like the E Club, but like it's called a Lauren Club.
Oh, it don't sound too exciting. Y'all ain't got Thirsty Thursday. Oh, ma'am, I'm a Korea alumni, Osan alumni. I got my doses out there. We was out there really working, not like Dale, but we was out there hitting 12-hour shifts. Dale don't know what a 12-hour shift is.
12, hey, I can't confirm or deny.
12 hours for him is 4-hour nap and 8 hours of work. That's 12 hours for him.
You crazy. We were in 12s when we went on our exercise.
Like how long was the exercise? Was it still a week?
Yeah, a week.
Do they still play what's that song they play at the end of the exercise? Philly, what's that song they play at the end of the exercise? America the Beautiful or God dog it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, they do.
Oh, they still do. Oh. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about?
I just remember that one song, Another One Bites the Dust.
Nah, they played like America the Beautiful or something. Goodness gracious, I can't remember what it is.
I think I was probably beside us off in a corner sleeping at my bed.
Yeah, for real. I tell everybody, when you put that gas mask on, like the Sandman come and talk to you, like there's no way to stay awake. 4 hours of a gas mask, no way.
That's breathing in your life because you
right. Say, yo, they need you to control your breathing, go to sleep, put on a gas mask. You fall right to sleep. To sleep.
You know what? Anyway. Where that sleep apnea came from.
Yeah, put that mask on 100%.
Yeah. I'm documenting everything after I leave here.
Dale, you hitting the gym or what?
Oh yeah, you know it. That's all gym and school. That's all I've been doing. So
that's what's up.
Yeah. And just staying busy.
Yeah. I was getting settled out there in the little dorm room.
Why I gotta be little? Why he just can't get settled in his dorm room?
I know that dorm room gotta be small. That room gotta be small. Ain't no way.
We over here, man. No, we get
it. Like Dale, you over there with your little friends?
Yeah. So I know, right? Yeah. But no, we got 2 rooms. Like for senior and CO dorms, you get like 2 rooms to yourself, and then you get a full size kitchen.
Oh hell!
Shower. Yeah. So
nice.
we're good over here.
Are you? And you're on base?
Yeah. Everyone's on base.
Oh, okay. Well, Philly just popped out, but that's crazy. That's cool though.
Yeah, no. So I got like my room is like my man cave, and then the room I'm in right now is I'm in my actual bedroom.
That's so crazy.
Oh, nice.
My two little rooms.
Yeah. That's wild. No, that's what's up though. Shoot, dang, I didn't know y'all had all that. You out there cooking or you out there eating at DFAT?
No, I'm whipping it up.
Man, show my FSS some love, man. Go out there and partake at the DFAT.
Yeah. They about to close it down. October 1st. So they about to get the double. Yeah, they're about to renovate. So everyone. Well, we already own BAS, but everyone else here's about to get that BAS Type 2 pay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about to be Hunger Games out here at the commissary for food.
Oh, damn, that's crazy. Y'all getting BAS times 2?
Well, no, not us, but the people that eat at the DFAT. That when it closes down from October 1st to December, like mid-December, they're going to be on that BAS Type 2 until it opens back up.
Man, making that big money. Big money.
It's like, it's different. Is it differential or no?
No, it's like, it's going to be like $900 payout.
Dang.
Yeah, it's like $940, I think.
Damn. They finna buy all the fake J's up. You bought your fake mess dress yet?
Nah, I have mine from Samsung.
Oh, okay. You ain't bought no.
I just been adding stuff.
Yeah. They still sell the jerseys?
Yeah. They got like 10 jersey shops right outside of the base.
Yeah.
I ain't got mine yet.
Yeah.
If y'all need some jerseys, some fake J's or something like that, let me know. I got you.
That's right up Philly alley. Philly, you need some.
What'd you say?
When does your time end there?
August. Yeah, so I've been here. I've been here like literally like a month and a week. So about 11 more months.
So I'm planning to come out there and I'll let you know. So what we'll do, Dale and I will be in Korea for a show.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Okay. I am coming out there.
That'd be dope.
Like Osan area, or are you coming down to the hood in Gunsan?
I'm coming to the hood because my homegirl, she's about to get stationed there, and then she turns 30. No, she'll be 30 in December. So once she gets there, I'm like, I'm trying to see, like, do I come in January when I have a break for school? I told her I'll come like during the summer, like right when school get out. But yeah, I'm gonna come over there.
Yeah.
Tickets though, it's like $2,000. I'm like what a rotator at? So I can sign up as a retiree.
That joy is crazy. Philly special, man. McCoy, what you talking about? Philly special. Let's talk about Philly DC. I don't know what Philly special is. Yo, you've been watching.
Just have a birthday.
He did?
I think so.
I don't know if he PCS, had a birthday, got married. I don't know what happened. He always posted pictures holding something up. Gave a going away, did a retirement, did a promotion ceremony. He always doing something. Something besides work is always happening. He be in uniform though, but something besides work. Something besides work. Hey, you been watching football?
Yeah. I got AFN shows all the games and stuff, and then so I just been watching most of the actual televised games, but that's about it.
Oh, you get the free fights.
Yeah. And the fights. So I'll be watching that. So that comes on 8 in the morning here. So I'll be watching the Noche UFC.
Yeah, definitely what I miss about AFN. What you think about the Tyreek Hill situation?
No, so I woke up and saw that not surprising. Yeah, I could see that happening. But overall thoughts, we just need to be more aware of how to handle situations. And I know it was a little like resisting to keep saying, but hey, everyone's watching, so
yeah,
cops got to be able to articulate their actions. If not, they're gonna get exploited through these body cams, and
yeah,
everyone gets to see it. Yeah. So,
holy shit, Jerome, we'll get to your stuff. Jerome E. Rome. We'll get to your stuff in a minute. That's long. Jess, did you look at it?
I did. And matter of fact, the baby boy and I, because he came to me, he was like, Mom, you saw what happened to Tyreek Hill? I was like, yeah. But I was like, that's like you said, Dale, getting exposed through the body cam, but two, just being mindful of like how you respond. But after the Sonya Massey situation, I'm gonna be honest, I being a retiree, but now I'm just straight up civilian. It changes. Your lens changes of how you interact with law enforcement. I'm just being honest. Just to comply, but two, like Tyreek Hill got a little cockiness to him. So I was just shocked, like how he responded as well. And then after they asked his ass, he's sitting up there damn skinning and grinning about it. It's just, again, I saw it coming. If it had not been who he was, I think it would have turned out differently.
Mm-hmm. Do you also think that, I guess, his blame in the situation as well? I wouldn't call it blame, because I guess he said the whole window rolling up thing. Like, he handed his driver's license and rolled up his window. His thing was, I didn't want to draw attention because other people are going to drive by, seeing somebody pulled over in a nice car, look inside, like, oh, that's Tyreek Hill, and taking pictures. So that's why he said he rolled back up his window. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I'm gonna be honest. When your ass, like when anybody gets stopped, the spotlight is already on you because those damn lights, they just put your eyes out. But everybody, it's, what do we call it? Social loafing. Like, you got to get your mindset out of it. But military members, we're good at it. But normal civilian people, they gonna look. Hell, I even look now. It's like, oh, who got stopped? Like, you must have been doing something bad or speeding and you got caught.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. At first, even the baby boy was like, I think he rolled, like, this is J. Cole now. J. Cole was like, I think he probably rolled his window because he didn't want all the air to leave out. Like, J. Cole. Really?
It's too hot. It's too hot.
Mom, it looked like it was hot out there, but I don't think he wanted the air to leave his car. I'm like, okay, J. Cole.
Yeah. I don't know.
TMZ everywhere, man.
Oh, yeah.
You probably where TMZ was out there lurking.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying, but bro, like, you would have got out there a lot quicker if you would just done what you were told. I mean, Now, should he have been yanked out the car and all that? That's up for discussion. I don't think they went a little bit too far with that. But I guess you play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It's just do what you're told, man, and keep it moving. But the Calais Campbell situation, I think, went way too far. When he pulled up, was trying to check on his friend, and man, that went way out of control. They just sat there and arrested him or put him in cuffs for just sitting there and trying to check. I know they say get on your way or go away or whatever, but I think on that aspect, I get a teammate. You're trying to check on your teammate, especially if you have a game to go to. You're trying to check on your teammate and see if they're okay, if they're going to make it to the game, get arrested, call an agent, something like that. So I guess I kind of understand that. I don't know your thoughts about that. I'm from Miami, and a lot of cops down there are a little too much, a lot of ego. This is where I kind of side with the cops a little bit.
Yeah. They
deal with a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah, they like always on edge because you don't know if one traffic stop's going to turn like your life around.
I agree with Nikki. Florida in general.
Yeah, not just Miami. But I get it. They deal with a lot of crazy stuff. So how do you be on edge? You might be on edge for everything, like you just said, Dale. And it's just like trying to get out the situation as quickly as possible, but also not putting your life at risk because you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know where the situation is going to turn to. It's kind of, I don't know. It's a tricky situation, but I mean, y'all signed up for the job. Y'all must like to do it, want to do it. Just, I guess, do it well. But you think You think they gonna try to sue Florida, or you think Tyreek gonna get suspended?
What do you mean?
I
Like,
don't know if he'll get suspended,
comments?
but do you think he'll probably have to pay a fine?
Oh yeah. Oh, they gonna get him for whatever the ticket was for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not that he cares, but he was even just like, give me the ticket and let me be on my way. Like, hold on, dog. Like, I run this thing. This is my show right now. You in my show.
So since we're in the arena of law enforcement, I know we're talking about football, but what do y'all think about the Justin Timberlake situation?
Oh, I don't even know that one. I'm not following that one.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake, I want to say yesterday, pleaded guilty for a lesser charge, but he ended up getting like community service. So a lot of people are like talking about that aspect of, I forgot when it was, but he alleges like he had one drink.
He got DUI?
No, it was a DWI.
Oh, God, no. Okay.
Yeah. And then, they had a whole news conference for that incident.
Yeah, and that's how I saw it yesterday when I was at school on lunch break. I looked at the TV and I was like, hey, he's up there talking about like what he just did. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing about that.
In our environment, if we have members that get DUI or DWI, like you ain't for to be offered no community service.
Heck no.
Yeah, it was like a low fine and then like 24 hours of community service or something like that.
You remember what state he was in?
I thought it was Vegas.
Wow.
I have no idea.
Go look.
Not even Vegas. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't hear nothing about it. It must have been a while ago.
Yeah, he pleaded guilty to impaired driving after DWI arrest. So it was he pleaded
New York.
Yep.
New York.
He pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of driving while ability impaired and was given community service 25 to 40 hours at the Sag Harbor, New York courthouse.
Yeah.
He got a traffic violation that carries a $300 to $500 fine and a 90-day license suspension.
Dang. 90-day license suspension. I mean, I guess when you're that level, like, who cares? Like, it's not going to affect him at all. He'll find somebody to drive him around, or he'll just drive around.
Only thing I did not like is when he said, "This is a mistake that I made," but I'm hoping that whoever's watching and listening right now can learn from this mistake. So I will always say that kids make mistakes, but as adults, you made a decision, and these are the consequences of that decision. So I was like, you ain't make no mistake, because you, like, he even offered, you could have called an Uber, you text your wife Jessica, like, put them kids in that car, come get me, like, but you made a decision. Don't get up on TV and say you made a mistake.
They said there's a reason you ain't never heard of the charge. I mean,
not the emoji eyes.
Yeah, I guess. That's great. Yeah, I mean, I never heard about it. I wasn't even paying that big of attention. That's crazy.
Yeah, because he was supposed to like perform at something, and since he got that charge, they like canceled. I don't know what it was, but yeah. Now that I remember, it kind of popped up out of the scene and then like kind of drifted off.
He threw up the eyes again. I mean, what's your? I don't know. I guess I'm so used to it. It's like, whatever. You don't hear about charges, you don't hear about charges. I mean, it is kind of crazy because Tyreek was really in the spotlight. I get it was the first week of football, so a lot more eyes on football and everything like that. And then that to happen, it's kind of crazy. Let me get to Romy Rome stuff. So can we discuss BAH for a second? Maybe y'all can offer some perspective I'm not seeing. Some of us single folks can't afford to live in areas of the metro sign and sometimes have to live 45 minutes away just to afford rent, which brings it to an issue. Seems like I'm forced to live in lesser than desirable areas in order to afford a simple 1-bedroom, 1-bath. I let y'all go. I got my thing on that, but Jess, what you think?
I mean, understand where he's coming from, but when I was single, and I'll never forget, it was me and my homegirl, Passion Stovall. We ended up moving in together to help offset that cost. Even right now, I know my cousin probably gonna be like, "Why you put my business out there?" But my cousin is stationed now in Travis Air Force Base, and he has 3 roommates, and they ended up getting a house. And like, I was in California last week, and just to see like the area, and of course, like staying off base is very nice, but it's also expensive. So that bond with other people that are single, like, are you all able to come and get a luxury lifestyle that you all will offer? Another individual that can offer insight, I'm not sure if he's looking, is Cayman Carricker. He's also like in the DC area, but you're right. You have to live out kind of far in order to get something within your means. But I don't think that should be the case. Those surveys, and again, I know I've kind of been unplugged, but what happened to those surveys that go to the service members for BAH to help? And that's the other thing. We talk about everything else, but the cost of living has tremendously increased. So if you are going to these assignments, I'm like, what are they doing to address those things? And that I'm not sure of. DC, do you have anything, at your level that you're seeing about BAH with the metro areas where our people are assigned?
I had to jump out, so I'm trying to catch up to what you guys are
I'm sorry.
about. BAH or something?
Yeah, here you go. It says, I'll try to read this twice. Can we discuss BAH first?
Let DC read it.
All right, can we discuss BAH for a sec? Maybe y'all can offer some perspective. I'm not seeing. Some of us single folks can't afford to live near those metro assignments, and sometimes we have to live 45 minutes away just to afford rent, which brings its own issues. Seems like I'm forced to live in less than desire. Okay, all right. So they still do their BAH surveys, but it's been well documented. Those surveys are not entirely accurate. They don't factor in a number of things. Case in point, the areas where they are considered to be affordable are not places where everyone will want to live. Maybe rundown areas, not safe for folks. Not only that, school zones and things of that nature. So to that question, now let DC read it. Oh, you hate me. Yo, I got a camera in front of the screen. I do a lot better than this guy.
No, Jess said that. I was about to read it. She said, no, let DC read it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He asked you for the perspective, so we just wanted
Thomas Life, what's up, Thomas Life? I see you in a while, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if you guys remember, but back when the housing crisis was getting out of control during COVID, and there was an Excel sheet that went out from many of the major commands that highlighted, based on your rank, this is the type of house that you can afford. And I like, for a staff sergeant, it didn't say like a home, it said like a townhouse or whatever. But let's be honest, everybody wants to live in a nice spot. They want a home, or they want a place that they can afford that's in a good neighborhood. And I think that's something the Air Force is trying to fix. But to Jess's point, with inflation, the BAH has run up over the past 5-6 years, but it needs to go up more than that. I mean, you find nothing against the officers, but you find they don't have much of an issue trying to find housing like your enlisted members, your BAH. And then you got the issue of, like, if you're dual military, obviously your BAH is kind of combined. Whereas if you have one person who was a single military member, like myself, when I was a staff sergeant, you're not going to get much house for your money. So the surveys are still going on out there, but there's still more to be done. Only thing I would say is, for you folks who are getting BAH, it is so important that you fill out those surveys and be as honest as possible. Because I think a lot of times they think, well, they have housing. It's just the airmen don't want to use it. Let's see, Tony Renee, they did a BAH increase maybe a year ago for certain areas. That is correct. Case in point, Luke Air Force Base got a BAH increase, but not Davis, Mafia, Tucson. My bad, not Tucson. Tucson.
One that we don't talk about often is negotiating your rent. A lot of Yes, sir. Everywhere, like when I was at Panama City, it was one of those areas because you got to think about it. Housing after Hurricane Michael impacted a lot of areas. So like they knew and they were tracking like how much money we were getting for our BAH. So even though that hurricane hit that area significantly, you had Herbert Field and Eglin who was receiving more BAH than Tyndall area. So for me, like got it off of the Breakfast Club out of all places. But Charlemagne and DJ Envy was talking about the importance of going in and negotiating with these individuals when you compare, like, look, this is the cost of living here. This is my housing allowance. However, in order for me to do with what my expenses are, this is how much I'm willing to pay for rent. And that's what I did. Even when your lease is up, they'll try to spike up your rent. But one of the things is going back in and negotiating to say, hey, based off of what you have afforded me to pay for right now, and based off of the cost of living, this is how much I'm still willing to pay.
Yep. Dale, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it does come down to how you work your money.
What the world?
How you someone getting that call. Yeah, how you work your money for the suitability of what you want to live. So I agree with Jess's point. Like if you're a young airman, young staff, and you're single at this point, try to link up with some buddies and try to save as much money as possible till you feel comfortable moving into these metro areas to fit what you want. But yeah, I agree. I don't think the BAH of what we're getting paid has caught up to today's time, especially for y'all stateside. And, and then whenever I go to USAFE, I'm sure it's the same thing. But these renters, like if you're renting, they know that you need a place, and they keep hiring their lease every year. And some people are having to move out because they can't sustain that $100, $200 increase every year. So I do think that our BAH needs to catch up to the times. I think we're a couple of years behind on our BAH in general.
Yeah. So person who asked the question said, I had a roommate in Travis Air Force Base. I would have a roommate where I'm at now, but I don't trust anyone around the area. My vulnerabilities. McDeal got to be. I'm sorry, my value. McDeal got a BAH increase, but does not cover as much in the area. So let me see. Utilities are in the formula, right or wrong?
Computed in that formula, right or wrong? No, utilities are not counted in that formula.
Yeah. So I will say, oh man, I got such a different perspective on this. I get what he's saying, and I totally get that BAH has not caught up with the inflation times, and I don't think it ever will. To be honest, I think as inflation goes up, we're going to be behind, hoping inflation goes back down, and then hopefully things kind of even out. But to my understanding, DC, correct me if I'm wrong, BAH is not supposed to cover all your housing expenses. It's supposed to be like an offset.
Yeah.
So, and I hate to say this because now I sound like the jerk who is saying that basically live where you can afford and stop trying to keep up with the Joneses is the best way. I don't know how else to say it. It's just, go ahead.
It's not that easy though. It's not that easy. I mean, because if you take that mentality, if folks take that mentality in some areas such as Seymour Johnson, hell, even Joint Base San Antonio, I would not want to live in those places. I would pay out of my pocket to live far away from those areas. You know, I want my family to be able to live in a place where it's safe and they're going to a good school zone. Now, unfortunately, BH doesn't take that into account. If I want my case in point in Joint Base Andrews, I had no way wanted my son to go to Prince George's County School. I wanted him to go to La Plata. So I had to move out to La Plata and pay extra $500-$600. And that was when I was a senior master sergeant. So it's a choice that families are going to have to make. Yes, the Air Force will not take that into account, but it's not easy to say live where you can afford.
My other thing is, so I know at Luke, they do where you can move in with other single person and live on base. I'm not sure if that's everywhere. So you can get, if available, you can get base housing on base, have a roommate, move in with them, and then you're paying basically splitting your BH. Let me see what he said. A lot of apartments include some utilities and rent. we can't opt out, so rent is increased.
Is increased.
Because what he's saying is that a lot of those apartments are already like they'll have a baseline for certain utilities like water, sewer. And I'll admit, right now I'm renting a home because I'm just trying to get familiar with the area and where I would actually like to buy a piece of land or property. But to his point, like every time I go shop around for a place to stay, and maybe the parent mindset, I always go look for a school first. So like I go look for the school that I want my kids to attend. And then that's when I'll start looking for housing. And some people are like, really? I'm like, yeah, because where my kid goes to school is more important than what type of house I'm going to stay in. But 9 times out of 10, you always go find a decent house where there's the school of your choice, I'll say. The utilities, I will say that coming on this side, that was a big piece for me because maybe I did get spoiled in the military. Like I will always go find a property where the water was included. So now I have the luxury of having my water, my electricity, and sewer all in one price. But like, I have a 15-year-old living with me right now, but with that 15-year-old, that's like, he's like 2 people in one. Well, so I was, total transparency and just trying to help them understand. I was like, y'all, when y'all were, back and forth between here in Alabama with your dad, it was $194. But now that we're all together, and that joint had jumped up to $294. So I was like, everybody set them timers before you get in that shower. Stop getting in your shower with your music because they'll turn on freaking iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Pimping, you have 10 minutes. You better scrub from head to toe and make sure you hit every secret spot.
She rather this like BMT.
I sure man. But utilities, again, that stuff is so expensive, and you don't think about it until like to Romy Rome's comment. Like, I really want to come home and have a place of solace, not come home, and I'm looking at like, hey, why am I here? Hey, we got Freddie in here, and Freddie is also a realtor. So if you would like to offer feedback, Freddie, that will be great for all of us. Please jump on, pimping.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Tower Light said, when you gonna play Madden on live soon? Philly, that's for you because I ain't got it.
No, I think that's you. You the one playing Madden.
I ain't got it.
You got the old one, though.
I like it. Oh my goodness. Okay, Gary, I think, yeah. Oh, Philly, that's you. It's too much.
Average household utilities. All right, basic allowance. I think he's okay. Basic allowance housing formula for 2024 is based on several factors, including local median market rent. The BAH is based on the median market rent in each military housing area. Average household utilities. The BAH is based on average cost utilities in each MHA. Blah 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 blah. All right, so I will publicly say perhaps I was incorrect. Jerry, I would ask you, where did you get this source from? I would like to see it. And throw that in the chat. I would love to see that. So,
but thank you, Jerry. You put in there that the BH includes an average cost of utilities.
Yeah, I find that very interesting. That man, I hear this all the time. People
I don't ever recall that. Interesting.
Hold on, I think you put it. Oh no, that's Tower's Life. See?
Yeah, I'll play you. I got the 25. I'll play you. I suck, but I'll play you.
I suck. I'll do the commentating.
As long as you don't use Philly, I'll play you.
That's crazy. But I think it's interesting. We always had this BH conversation, and Philly being the veteran amongst the group. I think you already talked about your BH issues that you had when you were a staff sergeant. And Dale, you being the youngest one to move out, how was your, struggles, issues? How'd you handle that when you were a young tech sergeant living in an apartment?
So I was in an apartment like pre-COVID before I got married. So it was affordable at the time. So I didn't really have any issues. I lived in Surprise, and I kind of lucked out. It was like immediate move in. Like soon as I got to Luke, it was an immediate move in, zero, the first month rent free. So like it kind of like worked out for me because I didn't have to pay, the application fee, first month rent, none of that. So it actually worked. But now I'm hearing when you apply for these places that you got to pay like like 2 months rent, double rent, like right up the front, and a lot of people can't afford that. So, fortunately, I haven't dealt with that situation since the whole inflation thing, and I've been, blessed, having a dependent that I'm able to afford the things and live in a community where I want to live. It ain't Rancho Cucamonga where Pete lives. He lives on a golf course. So
hey, whoa.
Someone needs to investigate his BH. But
that's crazy.
But yeah, down on the bottom of the mountain, we good where I'm at. But yeah, I'm fortunate that I haven't been in that situation yet. I don't know how it's going to be when I get to Germany. I heard Germany they have some inflation going on over there, so I can circle back with you when I go over there. But yeah. So I ended up renting our house out there in Arizona, and my wife moved in with her mom while I'm over here in Korea. So that worked out. So we're getting they're paying basically for our mortgage until we get back. So, but.
Charles Davis, what's up, man? DC, I'm from PG. Is that Prince Georgia?
Yeah, Prince George's, man. Hey, is that where they did the Wire at?
The Wire.
Hey, kid, I'm going to give you a tip. When you come for the king, you best not miss. Okay, you didn't see the show. You don't know what I'm talking about. Never mind.
Yeah, okay, that was funny.
They say he's financed.
I was like, he ain't looked at it, so I don't even know why.
You know what? Pete, I tell you, Pete has got to be the biggest hermit I've ever heard of. Every time we bring up someone on the show, he's never watched it. Bro, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Man.
I figure out ways to make more money. That's all I do.
Oh man, that Baltimore way different. I got you, brother. I got you.
But no, I don't really have any advice, and maybe we'll close this BH segment. I really don't have any advice for you on how to improve that.
Before you close, I kind of want to go back to the comment you made about people bunking together, because like young airmen, they have the option in most bases when they have legacy housing. Pete don't watch nothing. Dang, no, exactly. When they have a shortage in housing off the installation, there are some installations that have legacy housing that allow airmen to bunk together and live in housing. Right. Of course, then you also have the issue of mixing in ranks. There's always something to consider too. But there are a lot of bases that do that. Not only that, you have bases, case in point, you have a Victory for the Air Force that's still in the planning or the execution phase, Edwards Apartments. So out in Edwards Air Force Base, they have a contractor that was willing to build apartment buildings on a certain piece of land that's attached to the Air Force. So the Air Force extended the boundaries a little bit, allowed this owner to build this apartment complex with the hopes of letting the airmen stay there. And it's a nice apartment complex. And so that helps fix some of the housing issues they have for undercompany airmen there. So there's all kinds of ways that bases can look at. And some of them may not work for certain bases, but there's always other options out there too. I think in the end, it's going to come down to, that goes back to the subject we said a long time ago. They just need to pay us more, man. Pay us more money. No, I'm serious. Pay us some more freaking money, man. Geez, let me just go on my rant real quick. But before I do, I'm trying to prepare myself. A rant is coming. Let me just go on my rant. My rant is this. Damn it, pay us some more money. Like if I as a chief that's been in 31 years, why is it that my pay is not the same as a major or a lieutenant colonel? Why not? I know they always talk about his differences in officers and enlisted, and I love the argument when they say, well, DC, you could have just went in commission. Oh yeah, I could have. That don't mean that change. I don't get paid enough. If you look at it, look at the pay grade. Somebody pull up the pay chart and look at the pay difference. Case in point, you got master sergeants out there with master's degrees, and they're making less than captains and majors. Why can't the Air Force make something or create a rule just like they did with warrant officers, similar? If you are a senior enlisted person and you have a master's degree and is related to your AFSC, you deserve a pay raise. I would guarantee you will probably have more people stay in if you do that. Warrant officers is a great start. Don't get me wrong. Okay, thank you. Can you zoom in? Because my eyesight is bad.
Well, you know what? I would even say, why can't it be a bonus or like a supplement pay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That better?
Let's see. Now okay. So look, let's start with the 05, right? 05 at 20 years is making $11,093.10 at 20 years. Let's look at a master sergeant at 20 years. Bruh, do you see this? Do you see this, man?
Let him cook.
I mean, come on, man. Like, so to Jess's point, if you got a master's sergeant at 20 years with a master's degree, case in point, let's say you got finance, because we had the brother in there that put in the links. Thank you, man. Because I owe the public an apology for that.
Oh my goodness.
The brother that put that in, he's a finance manager, right? I don't know his rank, but let's say he's a master's sergeant 20 years. I would argue he is a expert or SME in his craft and also has a master's degree potentially in this field. Why shouldn't he get a bonus? Because he's not a warrant officer?
And I met his wife. Like, they're dual military and amazing. Like, I know his, again, I know his wife, and they're both senior NCOs. So that's the thing, is like, how do you break down and keep, how can I say it? How can you keep the experienced individuals within the military? And just Facebook alone, I can honestly tell you, like, between 24 and 25, the amounts of retirees, or just collectively the people that I know, we're losing a lot of good people. But why? And that's the thing. It's like, we've been in that mindset where let's do more with less. And now that change is coming so quickly, it's like, how do you allow those people to get re-energized? They tired. And just like you said, like, if I'm doing both sides, I'm growing myself personally, I'm growing myself professionally, but where's that supplemental aspect that's going to keep me there as an initiative? Like, even dealing with the cadets in the high school, like, we get to apply for, I'm trying to prep them to apply for the Air Force Academy. Again, statistically, it's like, you got to show growth, you got to show improvement. But our people in the military that's currently serving, they're doing that. Now, these kids, I had to convince them to do a PT test yesterday. It's called J100. But if they can show, like, if they can get their mile and a half, especially for a female, I want to, not their mile and a half, a mile, like 6 to 8 minutes. Do you know that if their package is competitive enough, they can get $250,000 scholarship just to go to school?
That's crazy.
That's a good incentive, though. Like, you got to think about it. I came from nothing, but this will be, like you said, now I know. You get a lot of military members who did not know the stuff that we know now. And that's why we chose the paths that we chose. But it's like, now that I'm in, I understand the systems that I'm playing with. What is something that you can help me be well-rounded, but stay committed to serving? You don't have a lot of stuff that a lot of people want to stay with, because allow that retiree to come whisper in your ear and be like, my brother or my sister is good on this side. They get intrigued. And think about the common store of Bucky. I pull up, and I was against Bucky's, and I apologize to the Spivies because they love Bucky's. But you go to a Bucky gas station and you see how much they get paid. Again, people are jumping because they don't feel motivated. It's no incentives to stay.
I can agree. I don't know what happened. Oh no, I'll just leave that alone. I'll leave that alone. I can agree. People are going to jump, but hopefully they make good decisions when doing it. I'll say the grass ain't always greener. In most incidents it is, but retirement and then jump might be a better conclusion, depending on how far along you are in and your motivations for moving forward. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. And can we get a phone charger and a okay. Yeah, $125K for a manager at Buc-ee's is kind of crazy.
It sure is.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, but let's look at it.
K9.
And look what Rome just said. I got an offer for $165K to do less work that's just as a handler.
Go ahead, Philly. Sorry.
Okay, so Tony Renee's comment: $125K for a manager at Bucky. So I think your pro-military would say, let's look at what rank would be equivalent to $125K. Now, when I say $125K, I'm not just talking about base pay. I'm talking about all the benefits that's looped into it as well. So some people would say it's fake news. It's like, all right, you look at all these benefits, but I don't get the same benefits as a civilian worker working at Buc-ee's as far as the autonomy to make the decisions what I want to do, whether I want to take off or leave for another job. That's true. And so let's be honest, when you come in the military, you don't come in the military to be rich. You just don't.
No.
But you expect to be well taken care of to some degree. I remember when I first came in, y'all remember back in the day, healthcare was totally free when you retired? When you were military at one point?
I remember that.
Y'all remember that? Like way back in the day, the old retirees would say, oh, we don't have to pay for medical care. And so now, I mean, Jess can attest because she's retired. You got a portion of medical care. You got to pay for what? TRICARE. What is it now? What is it for you guys?
Maybe a TRICARE retiree because they dropped my ass like a
yeah. So
like, you gotta pay those premiums, and yes, sir. And that's like you said, that's the piece I wasn't prepared for. And like those of you that may be retiring, I didn't know. Like TAP is good information. Don't get me wrong. But maybe I didn't pay attention because they were so focused on the VA aspect, but it's called being fed. Those are your beneficial, it's your insurance that you need to lock in before you retire, or you would have to wait to open season. So like I missed out on like the dental because United Concordia went away. So now I was like, yo, what do I do? But like you said, the civilian job that I have has offered to where, and I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot better than United Concordia because they pay 80% of all my dental work. So like for my kids, I remember I had to pay for tie braces a certain portion, but for here they're paying 80% of Taraji's braces. So I'm like, put me on, coach. And just for that premium a month, I want to say like I paid $90 for the family. But though, like you said, knowing what you get, $125,000 a year, but then you got to factor in like all the money that will be deducted from your check. So like healthcare, I got dental right now for my kids. But then you got to think about your retirement plan. What I love about my retirement plan here in Georgia, because it's called the Teachers Retirement System. I put in 6%. Guess how much my job puts in?
6%.
No, sir.
Oh.
20%.
Damn. That's pretty good.
So that's why they say like teachers, if you do it right, teachers can retire as millionaires. But those are the things that you need to go like you said, it's not just about the money, but what is in this detailed package that I'm about to apply for is important as well when you talk about the benefits. Because if I'm not mistaken, DFAS still offers that that compensation. You know, when they used to give us out like a summary of all your benefits and how much you make for a year.
I don't know that.
It's in if you go on my pay, you're able to see like how much your salary is, but they factor in what DC was saying. Like they put your BAS, they put BAH, but they put all of it in. Tony, come on, ma'am. If you want to move to Georgia, I will have a position open. Oh,
benefits fact sheet. We're supposed to get that when we do our ACAs. Supposed to get those out.
Yeah, Jerry know because he's our finance guru. Yeah. But he said he's in my pay. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up real quick.
No, I guess that's a good thing. Chief, like what you said, like $125K, it sounds real good on paper, but some people are making close to that now when you add in everything that comes up and the 2.5 days a month, or 2.5 days that you get off a month is actually pretty good when you look at the civilian sector. Their PTO, pay time off, that they get is not 2.5 days a month because they go by hours, not by days off.
Yeah, I would think folks who stay in past 20 years, I would hope by then they would know they're not going to match 100% what the civilian sector they can make on the civilian sector. Charles Davis said up previous in the comments, that he has a degree in kinesiology, aka physical therapy. So I would imagine he could make six figures on the outside, but he chose to stay in. So everybody stays in for different reasons. Am I saying that you should stay in and forego what you can make in the civilian sector? No. But the military would never match what the civilian sector is paying. I think what the military provides outside of pay, the civilian sector cannot match. And last I heard, is there any civilian job out there that offers retirement at 20 years? You can retire at 30-something years old, 40-something years old?
There's not a lot if there is.
I mean, I don't know of any.
NFL,
so you have folks who are smart like Corey Strother. Corey retired at 21, 22 years as a chief and is back in the workforce, and he's getting 2 checks, just like Jess. You're retiring at a good age where you can do it. So,
let me see if I could share it.
Healthcare is one of the largest expenses outside the military. Yeah, I think it's going to continue to go up as well.
Can y'all see this?
Nah, not yet. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, there it goes.
So this is what I'm talking about, the personal statement of military compensation. So it shows like, this is old, but it says of March 2024, it was $126,000. And your expenses is, remember, those are like the things that come out 500, but total, you could say like, hey, as an active duty chief, I was receiving $127,000.
That's crazy.
Then they break it down to say, hey, your basic pay was this for a month. Annually, I got this. But when you consider your BAH monthly, but for a year, that's how much I got. Your BAS monthly was $460, and then a year I got $5,523. So that's why they say annually I was making $126,000. You know, as military members, we don't see it like that.
Yeah, that's pretty. Sorry. Go ahead.
The medical care piece to it that is very important. But because I was single, but I had my 4 dependents, this was how much was indirect compensation to me.
God, dog. I guess that's a good recruiting video right there.
That's what they do now. Really, that's what supervisors should be doing anyway when they're talking to them.
I'll be honest, I've never heard of that, never seen that.
So, and right here. So when you go in, because this is my retired account. So through my retirement account, I clicked here for the personal statement of military compensation, and you're able to see it. And then they break it down again. But the actual document that I just showed to you was under the printer-friendly version. Yeah. And then this is where you
see any of your personal information.
Can we quickly go to Charles Davis' comment? I need to make a correction there. Charles Davis doesn't have a degree in kinesiology. What he was saying, his captain has a degree in kinesiology, a bachelor's. But he said, Charles Davis says he nearly has his master's. Okay. And this quote, this dude makes more than me. Kinesiology as a bachelor's is like a degree in PT. Military should pay me more. I agree.
Yeah. Remember, anything that ends up with pay is taxable. Anything that is with allowance. Hey,
you know what?
T-shirt. Put that on T-shirt.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, we need to have you on the show more, bro. You're giving us some good financial dimes here.
Yeah.
And yes, Jerry was right. Thanks for
Jerry. Or with Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry was right, man. He got me good. He corrected me. So utilities, there's a portion of utilities that's factored in to your BAH. So thanks for that correction, man.
He said anything that ends with pay is taxable. I like that. But Jess, that's a good thing. Next time I have a shirt call, I'm gonna make sure I bring that up, because that's a good thing to look at when you talk about, because you're right. Like, a lot of people, they come in, they hear these things and how much people are making on the outside, and the numbers sound astronomical, like $125K. When you hear it like that, it sounds huge. But when you break in, hey, I'm only making $700 a month or $900 every paycheck, $1,800 a month. But when you factor in a lot of other things, maybe it ends up in the wash. Maybe it's maybe you do make a little bit more on the outside, but it's also good just to do your research and have everything that you need.
See, there's your brother, man. Please don't do that. Don't bring that up after the shirt. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
You should have known that already.
But if I don't know,
you're a first sergeant, bro. Supervise. That's the number one rule. It even says it. I forgot which regulation. I'm at to find. I don't know if it's the Brown.
Well, you're talking about the benefits.
The benefits fact sheet
is it. Yes. But what I just told you, that was not the benefits fact sheet.
But that's included. That commentary is included in that. When you have a talk with your airman subordinate, and you tell them about the benefits of the military, all that is included. Now, it's not specifically in a benefits fact sheet, but that's something that you use as a recruiting tool or more of a retainment, as far as retaining airmen. So you can bring it up if you want. I'm sorry.
No, if you tell me not to,
I don't want to. What you say? Ha. They pull me back to BMT, brother, but I'll be pull up anytime. All right. I'm sorry. Continue on. I digress.
No. I just think, like I'll say, I don't know everything. And just because I put on diamond doesn't make me any smarter than I was the day before I put on diamond. What I know is what I know.
Bro.
Well, it is what it is. And what I know is and people know more than me. People know less than me about certain subjects. Like it is what it is. But if I don't know, I'm thinking I'm in the same as everybody else. There's other people that don't know. And say it's only one other person. That's fine.
To Tony's point, put up her comment, and that's what I like, because that's what we just did in these comments. Like, Tony basically said we're a network, and it's true. We aren't supposed to know everything. And then pick up, like I picked up the phone to make sure I quoted something correctly, but she is right. We use our resources.
Yeah, there's so many people now that have never seen. I think the benefits fact sheet's outdated. It's like 2022 or something like that was the last updated one. Thank you, Tony Renee. Thank you.
Go ahead and do it then. I'm sorry. I'm the bad guy.
Good. You know what?
Clear me out of the camera.
No, I'm going to call you on Teams when I do it so that you can see it.
No, you got to give Tony Renee some love. You know she used to be a
top. I officially have left the chat.
I'm going to have you on Teams when I do it. I'm going to call you on Teams.
All right. Can we transition to the debate, please?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord.
Yes.
But before we do that, did you put the disclaimer up there?
Yeah, you want to put it up again just in case you go
put it up there again.
Where were you?
Put it up there again. I was out doing business. That's what I was doing. Getting my business done.
Okay, Shannon Sharp. Anything that comes from Unpopular Celebrities Podcast, all unofficial. The conversation right now. I can't stop laughing.
Can you read and focus? It's hard for you.
From the Unpopular Celebrities Podcast is all official. None of these conversations or comments from us or guests represent the DOD or the armed forces as a whole. You like that, Pete?
Tony, don't log off, girl. We want to hear your thoughts.
Oh man. Not debate, I'm logging off. See? Here you go.
All right. So I want to address what Towers Life asked me earlier. He asked me, what did I think about Trump? Or he asked me, do I like politics?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I like politics. I do think it's interesting. And I think as an American, there's some level of interest for me when it comes to politics. So anyway, as far as Trump, I'll just give my quick 30-second piece on the debate. I think that I'm not surprised at how it ended up. I think that former President Trump was outclassed by Vice President Harris, but not by much. I think Vice President Harris, just like President Trump, failed to really detail any specific plans when it comes to specific topics. And it's normal for a debate because what you don't want to do is put yourself in a bad light. But there were questions thrown at both sides that they failed to answer, which was a concern for me. But if I had to pick a winner, I would say it was easy, Vice President Harris.
So I will say the best comment for me is when he said, I have a concept of a plan. So I went back to work that next day and I told my department head, I was like, please don't ask me what plans I have because I have a thought of a plan. But I would honestly say, and I say this out of just lived experiences, VP Harris's facial expressions. Because for me, I could say that like that's one of the things that will forever always be with us. But her facial expressions for everything, I appreciated that she made eye contact with him. The thing that I didn't appreciate is that he wasn't poised enough to sit there and have that debate with her. It made me think of that old school cartoon. It's like I would have preferred factual information from him to her. But it's like, for me, again, because I can comment on it, I was just like, yo, he has, because I had put notes down on this one. I said he sounded like an elementary student, second grade lower. And she was on point when she said he's weak and wrong. So I was like, you know what, to a point, like she got underneath his skin a lot. And it was almost like he lost his mind because he wasn't focused. Even with her, I just sat back and I was just like, people keep saying that they don't know you. They don't know what your plans are. But this is my thing. It makes me think, like, should some of our people go back and look at what those duties and responsibilities are of the president and the vice president? Because I'm like, she had to play her role. She can't overstep President Biden when he is the president. But two, people forget that you have Senate and Congress who plays a big role in a lot of the rules that we had. Now, as a woman, I just can't get out. I was still tripping on the fact when he said you can get an abortion in the 7th month, 8th month, 9th month, and probably after birth. So then I'm watching it with my kids. So Taraji was like, so does that mean the baby is over there alive and looking at them to determine whether or not they're going to keep them alive? Like, are we not paying attention to what we are saying when we're out here? But it really does scare me because for President Trump, he has men in other countries saying that, saying what matters. But I'm like, what are you saying about the people? What are you saying about us here? You're relying on people outside of the U.S. to say whether or not you're doing a good job. But what are the people here in the U.S. saying about your job?
Okay. All right.
No, I'll wait for somebody else to jump in. I go on all day. Del, you got something?
Yeah. So, I watched the replay because over here was the time difference. But and so I saw a lot of the like memes and comments before I could actually watch it. So I was like, okay, I'm interested in actually watching the whole thing. But yeah, it seemed like she was more prepared, and he kind of like debated off the cuff, which he usually does. And his answers and the way he goes about it is based off the momentum of the actual debate. So he tries to get these one-liners out to get publicity on certain things he was. So like the cats and dog thing, he's good for those one-liners to
in Springfield they're eating the dogs, the people.
Yeah, that was wild. And Kamala came at a more of a professional type way, so it was kind of like two different debates going on at the same time. But if I had to get a winner, I had to vote her just because of the poise, and she was a little more prepared and answered some of the questions that they asked. But it's hard to get those non-biased networks, and you can kind of see who they were kind of favoring. But if that's in your favor and you're answering the question, you got to work with what you got. So that's just my 2 cents.
So I will add, and I'm glad you said that, Dale. So when I think about it, I think for me, the biggest piece is the immigration. And then just hear me out, because again, these are my thoughts and my concerns only. But we have branded ourselves in America of being home of the brave, land of the free. But when we talk about immigration, it's almost like it's a bad thing. Like, I get that there should be rules and policies in place. But what bothers me so much is that we're so divisive when we talk about human beings as if they're not human beings. And even in everything we do, we always say, in God we trust. So when he was talking about the Haitians, it really bothered me because even being here in Georgia, it's such a diverse community of everybody. I can't even go to Walmart without people outside of Walmart passing out their business cards. And they're not from America, but they're out here trying to hustle. So my biggest thing is when people be like, well, they need to go back to their country. Why? When we got people that were born and raised here in America, capable and able, and won't get their narrow ass up to go get a job, go put in an application, but you still use taxpayers' money, who is also us, because we're all taxpayers. We use our money to make sure that they ass can still stay at home and get their Section 8 housing. And this is just not a racial issue. I know different races who equally capitalize off of housing benefits, EBT. But then you have an issue with an individual that's Haitian. You have an issue that an individual that's Mexican that want to come over here. They work damn near harder than some of us who have been born and raised here, but you don't want them here. I think that's the beauty in America. It's like we afford opportunities. So it's like, why are you trying to limit and afford those? And then they're saying, well, they're all criminals. Baby, people that was born and raised here are criminals. What are you doing with them? Half of the time you're pardoning their ass for things and putting them back out on the street. And like I tell people, we will lock somebody up quick that sells drugs, but we will let somebody else out quicker who has committed murder. Help me understand, like, which one do you want? Do you want to continuously promote our banter that we are home of the brave, land of the free? Or do you want to just keep with this stupidity? And that's where I get frustrated in, because it's like, this is me again, my religious beliefs is that God is going to judge me and hold me accountable based off of how I behave, respond to other people. Like, that's me. But it seems like some people just forget that. I'm like, yo, you holler about you believe in God or whatever your spiritual path is, but look how we move forward with some of the things that we talk about, especially make like laws and decisions and policies off of.
I think immigration is a big thing. And I think if somebody comes into the country, just like if we go to other countries, they have laws and rules for immigration as well. So I think if you come into the country and do it right, get your visa or whatever, and you it sucks. We can't help where we're born at. Like, I could have been born somewhere else. Y'all could have been born somewhere else. We're all born in America. That's where we're at. I don't want to say lucky for us and unlucky for some. I don't want to say it like that. But as long as they do it correctly, let them in. Now, the ones that just try to barge their way in or come in illegally, yeah, those should be taken care of accordingly, because we can't just have an overpopulation of people. I mean, we're going to run out of space, run out of a lot of things. And not saying that I don't want to go to China or anywhere like that, but if I do, they have their immigration laws as well. Either they're going to lock me up and not let me out, or a lot of other stuff. But I do think that immigration is a big thing. I let people in if they want to come in, just as long as they do it the way that the laws say they have to do it.
But you said something earlier when we said that, think about, we have a lot of people who they see us, they see that vision, they see a dream that they want to achieve. They don't know that until they get into a network of people who can help them do it the right way. Like, I have a mentor who works with refugees every day. So she's there, she has a translator, and she's trying to figure out, like, hey, how do I help this family? How do I keep this family together? So that's what I'm looking at. It's like, people don't know what they don't know. It's all they're trying to figure is like, how do I get here? Once I get here, I'll figure out the rest.
But they know the wrong way to do it.
But they don't, again, you got to think about, I don't know what I don't know. All I know is that I need to get there.
Right. But you also know, but I guess back to the play stupid games with stupid prizes. Like, if you just try to get over here and you find out it's illegal, you're going to pay a little bit of a price. Do I think the price is correct? But just like I said, if I go to China, I need to know the rules before I can go there. I can't just go.
Don't go to China.
Well, I'm saying one of those for example. I can't just show up and be like, hey, I'm here.
Japan, Germany, those countries, you can't just show up and it's not the same as America. Don't get me wrong. This one of the benefits of America is, America is built off immigrants. America is the way it is because of immigrants. However, to Pete's point, I agree. There is a process put in place. They should follow the process, and quickly going back to the debate, I felt like that was one point that Trump could have really pounced on Kamala Harris for, but he was unhinged and he didn't do it because in the end, it is a known fact the influx of immigrants since that administration has gone up exponentially. And has been a point of contention between all of the states where, case in point, Texas sent a lot of the immigrants up to the East Coast, and some of them are in different East Coast cities. I think in the end, we need a more solid immigration policy and to be enforced, but it shouldn't be at the expense of immigrants being treated less than human beings. I don't know what that plan is. I don't think any of them lined that out outside of, President Trump saying he's going to use the National Guard and the local police force. So I think in the end, that's what needs to happen.
But too, when they're making these policies, I wish policymakers in the Congress and Senate, because a lot of them are immigrants. Why won't you use immigrants who are like going through it right now to help you with your decision making? That's my biggest piece too. It's like you're trying to make a decision that impacts people and you're not even including them. So it's like, if y'all really want to get this policy right, bring those people in, meet with those people, and then y'all are able to hear their stories, think collectively. And I forgot who put in the group chat about, I wish we would get away with the system. I really wish we would erase Democrats, erase Republicans, erase damn independent. Because I need us to really think about like moving forward. Like I tell my kids, I said, I am so worried. Like this election, like I'm always worried. Not like I got a big play in it other than to go do my part and vote. But it bothers me to see the focus and where we're going with the laws. I'm like, they're not really going to impact us if you really think about it to a degree, but they're going to impact our kids' longevity. Like it was a law, case in point, that President Trump signed when he was in office dealing with veterans. Like if you had student loans and just say you got them all out, you have up until year 2025, December, and they'll wipe them. Those are the things. That is an example of a law that he did while he was in office that is in effect until 2025. So just think about all these other laws and the longevity or the impact that it's going to have. And that's not what we're thinking about. We're just thinking about right now what we're going through with inflation and immigration. But I'm like, especially abortion. What are we doing to think long term, not just an immediate fix? Because we're so reactive as well. We don't do nothing until it's like a need for it to be done at that time.
And just that's a good point. I guess I don't remember abortion. Now, maybe I wasn't even up the age to even realize it being that big of a topic maybe 20 years ago. Maybe it was, and I just wasn't old enough to realize. But I don't know what the abortion laws were 20 years ago, and something changed, society changed. I don't know, but it's like, what was wrong with the laws 20 years ago? I don't even know what the laws were.
That abortion and immigration is probably the biggest two topics that will decide who the next president will be. And I think for the abortion topic, to your point, Pete, it got to a point where it's, they have this Roe versus Wade. Roe v. Wade was overturned by President Trump and was given to the states, was a bad call. I think my personal opinion, DC's personal opinion, no one, let alone the government, should tell a woman what they should do with their body. No one. And I think during the debate, former President Trump made a comment about, I won't go into details, something about, you have the baby, they decide what to do with the baby or something. I mean, it's comments like that made him seem like he was just like totally off kilter, which is a shame because one thing I'll quickly bring up too is the Afghanistan piece. I thought that was a brilliant opportunity for him to press her for that too, and he failed to do it. So there was some people in the comment that mentioned something about Kamala Harris as the vice president, and she shouldn't be held. She's not culpable. I disagree. I think it's no different than when I'm being in a foreign organization I'm in. Yes, my boss is in charge, but if something goes wrong in my formation, you don't think that the next person in line, ultimately the commander, gets the biggest scrutiny, but you don't think the people under his command is faced with the same thing. So for vice presidents go out. Is it true? It's true that vice presidents, they go out and they meet world leaders. They work issues, whatever's being given to them by the president, as well as the Secretary of State. So I'm sure in that room, when decisions were made, she got a chance to weigh in. And maybe no one knows what she said. She might say, hey, this is a bad idea, whatever. But what my issue is this. When they asked her, they said, do you accept any responsibility for Afghanistan? You think you've done anything wrong? She never answered the question. There are some folks that say, okay, she's a vice president. It's ultimately up to the president to make that decision. That is true in some regard. I would have liked for her to see, hey, it was a decision made. However, in hindsight, when I think about it now, I would have done this differently. Or I think what we did was 100% right. She didn't do either one. That's my only issue with that part.
No, I agree. I think some of the questions were dodged politically correctly, where they have a debate coach that teaches them how to do it or whatever. But I'm like you. I wish somebody would just be like you just said, this decision that was made, I'm a human. Hindsight, if I could crystal ball everything, I would make every decision right. But unfortunately, I can't. So there will be some decisions that I don't get totally right. But best and believe nothing is made in vacuum. There's people involved, Congress, Senate, generals, whatever it is, whatever the topic is. We don't just sit in a room with two people and say, let's do this. We talk to a mass amount of people, and this was the mass decision that was made. Maybe and say, I didn't agree with it, but this was the mass decision, and I'm not going to go against the masses. And this is what we made. It didn't go right.
Right. So I will even add, going back to the abortion one. So the one that even when I was getting my doctorate degree, I found where a lot of clinical trials or studies, like historically, those trials did not always recruit participants who were represented most affected by a disease, a condition, or behavior. So when they're looking at these policies, that's the one that bothers me the most, especially about abortion. As a Black woman, we have not had the opportunity to be participants in a lot of these studies where it affected our diseases or behavior. So it's like, when you think about that aspect, and I'm just saying it for me, I'm like, hey, a lot of clinical trials that you're trying to utilize to make some of these decisions did not include people like me. But that's what I want people to go back and look at. Like, before you make a decision, like, you're making a decision based off of who? So when I looked at the RNC and the DNC, and just to see those women that stood up at the DNC and talk about their experiences with their medical conditions, and this is total transparency. I remember, and I'm not going to dime them out, but this is what I want my military members to keep doing and pushing. Being at Tyndall, I went to the doctor and I told the doctor that, hey, I have this lump in my breast. And being that I wasn't raised in the household with my biological parents, I was raised with my grandparents. I found out medical information about my mom that she had ovarian cancer. So I was like, okay, cool. Then I reconnected with my biological sister last year. How about she had a lump in her right breast? I have one in my breast. I went to go see the doctor at Tyndall. He really pissed me off because he looked on WebMD. So I was like, hey, I looked at TRICARE rules. I'm not 40. So I know I may be denied for a mammogram, but hey, this is my family history that I just found out. My sister got hers tested. It was benign. I have this lump. I would like to get tested. Do you know he didn't even write all that information in there. So fast forward to March, I go to my VA appointment. The same lady that was doing my general exam for my VA appointment, like, hey, do you know you have this? And I said, yes, I've been trying to get it looked at to no resolve. Nobody is helping me. And I gave her the family history again. She worked with Maxwell Air Force Base. This captain that is in the clinic there put in a referral. Y'all, I had that referral the next week, had an appointment that quickly, had the biopsy and got it examined. It came back benign. But it's like, you're telling me, that's my biggest frustration. You're in a position because of your credentials to tell me what to do with my body. Now, if that other lady, and I will say she was a minority lady, was like, hey, you need to get this looked at. But why do I have to constantly tell you what's going on with my body, but you're telling me what's not wrong with my body? So that's how I look at the abortion too. When you have been through certain situations, especially as women, when you're trying to articulate what's going on with your body, and somebody else is telling you, well, this isn't what I've seen clinically. You're right, because I'm not represented in those trials or those studies that you have learned in your textbook.
I agree. That's
why when people be up in arms, like, remove your religion. If I'm placed in a position where I have to have an abortion due to my health, that's not your job. That is going to be my job and God to determine, hey, you went through this situation. This is my judgment for what you did. That ain't nobody here walking around to determine what I do with my body in regards to an abortion.
Amen.
But we take it on like it is. And people like, oh, it's men. It's not just men. Women as well are against other women when it comes to having an abortion. It's a human thing that people have inserted their religious values on. When didn't you just tell me it's separation of state and church? But this issue has been laced with both. They incite or include their religious preferences on how they have made this decision, if you really want to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's deep. Deep. DC?
No, I agree. I mean, I think no issues on mine. I think abortion, again, I think it's nothing the government should decide. It should be a woman's choice. It should always stay that way. I don't even know why it's even an issue. And I get it, between whether you're a conservative or a liberal, I mean, I hate to I don't mean to make jest of it, but it seems like it's common sense to me. Like, it should be up to a woman. Like this, the government should have no hand in it whatsoever. And I honestly think that's probably going to be the thing that's going to cause Trump to lose the election is abortion.
It's almost like communist thing, like China, or I think it's Japan. One of them are saying that you can only have 2 kids.
No, I don't think that's the same. I mean, I get it. Like, to Jess's point, I get it. People try to insert their religious beliefs in it, and that shouldn't happen. You're killing the baby or whatever. There's all kinds of reasons why a woman would want to seek an abortion, and in the end, the woman is carrying the child. They should make that decision, not man, not government. So it's just the thing that China's doing is a little bit different, I mean, no, in the way they are, it is. No, I take it back. I apologize. It is, because if you're telling them you can only have 2 kids or 1 kid, then that's different. I mean, that's something similar. So
yeah.
Let's see what did Jeffrey said? It's a shame that common sense is ascribed to a political party. Yeah. And let me say this real quick, and if y'all want to move on, we can, because I can understand this can be a contentious topic. I think in the end, I think Jess mentioned it earlier. You said you were concerned about this year's election.
Yes.
I am as well, because I think there are you have a small amount of people in the middle. It's almost like, how you get chose, like you in elementary school or high school when they pick teams and people are just spread out and you have the people in the middle, they don't know where to go. That's why I think we're at. It's like, you got people trying to figure out which way to go. And dare I say, there are some people who are not favoring either side. And they say, well, I'm not going to vote. And they can impact the election too. And then you have one side, let's say both sides, as so in or so far into their candidate, they can't see the negatives or the flaws in their campaign. They just don't want the other side to win.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's the crazy thing, because it's kind of a weak comparison, but the first thing comes to mind is like stratification. It's like, bro, I know you want your person to win, but pick the right person. Who's the right person to win? Put your personal feelings aside. And I honestly think this is I would confidently say this is going to be the most impactful presidential campaign in decades. I know that's a far-fetched to say, but I mean, come on. I mean, you've got all kinds of things going on with inflation. You got the wars in Ukraine, the war in the Middle East. You got China looming in the background. You've got the supposed alliance between China, North Korea, and Iran. You have the perception. I mean, I know y'all talked about Tyreek Hill earlier. You have the issue of the United, the people in America divided in some ways. And I honestly think there are some folks that believe if you select President Trump, we're going to go back to, and it's going to go back to that and make it worse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people that say if you vote for Vice President Harris, you're going to have issues with the economy and inflation and national security. I think in the end, man, it's like people are going to have to really do their work to get unfiltered, fair information on both candidates' plans and then make an informed choice. But I think sitting on the sidelines because you don't like either one is a bad thing, not a good thing.
So I agree. I think you know what really helped? I'm like you, like take away the parties, take away the, like put the people. The thing that bothered me so much about former President Trump is that he took J.D. Vance, who's changed his name maybe umpteen times. I also think though, he was, for me, like, because I love politics. For me, if you were able to flip someone who despised you, why couldn't you have selected Nikki Haley?
Oh no.
That's a good point.
No. Yeah. Like if you strategically, like you want to win a race, you already know Pence wasn't coming back for you.
Right.
Why not select President? Well, why not select Nikki Haley to be your VP, to be on your ticket? I'm being realistic.
That'd been a better.
It sure would have. In my eyes, it would have. So when VP Harris and Walz, I do like the fact that Walz comes from a military background. So people are like, why are you so? I love the fact that he comes from a military background. He has proven leadership. And the thing that I did not like is when they did start comparing their records. Anybody that takes a sworn oath to defend their service, I don't care if they serve 4 years versus 24 years. But the thing that I love about Walz is that he served. Somebody else said you biased. Yeah, he served and he was enlisted. Most of the time, what have we been told? Enlisted is the backbone of the force. So therefore, he has the leadership skills, even if she may not have them. I think Walz is a good person to compliment her. Same thing with Trump. Vance is not a good person to compliment Trump. I feel that Vance is like a junior version of Trump who does not know how to compliment him. But with her, and Seals, you're right. I think Trump does not respect women. But it's like, what would that ticket have looked like or shaped had he had Nikki Haley on his side?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to remember exactly. I wanted to add on to what you just said. Oh, good example. You said that that was a bad choice for him for picking his running mate, President Trump, because you can tell they're not talking. There are times in the debate he said, well, your vice president candidate said this. He's like, I didn't talk to him, but he can have his own opinion. They don't talk. It's almost like he's an afterthought. You know, and I think if he would have picked Nikki Haley, even though I think people will still think he don't respect women, but it would have helped this case immensely. I think she's more than well qualified than Vance. Vance makes it worse for him. Oh, yeah, I see Project 2025. He kind of distanced himself. You know, man, man.
You can go down a tangent. This thing
you can go down all day for this one, man.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess we can go all day with this, but see what happens. Hey, don't the vice presidents do a debate? Or is that not a thing anymore?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do one.
Oh, okay.
I'll be honest though. So the low-key joke that I had about Vance and Walz was, it's almost like, because Vance, if I'm not mistaken, was like a lower ranking, like E4. So then you have like Walz, who was like an E9, and it's like, are you butthurt of your experience in the 4 years that you did serve? Did someone of that level like do you wrong for you to come in the way you did against Walz? Like that's the only piece like I'll honestly say, because, as military members, we can always choose the capacity in which we serve once we're in. It's like what you ask of me, I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. So it's like, why did you do, like, that's the piece I didn't like about Vance. Like, why did you do that to him? And then like, I don't know Kat, but I have plenty of homegirls who are single women who would, like, they are like one of my homegirls, She's not married. Like, she adopted her first baby last year. He was born last year and he turned a year this year. But I think about women like her, like they want to be moms, but their lives and career did not afford it that opportunity at that time. But it's like, just because a woman doesn't have kids doesn't mean she's gonna be a damn cat lady.
Yeah.
Man, man, yeah, that's crazy. So I love what I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Shaman Seals. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Shaman, thank you. I'm sorry. Shaman Seals. She said we would have had a better chance to win because while many don't like Trump, many people do believe in conservative. That's what it is. It's like, I think it seems like the majority of the Republican Party, conservatives, are afraid to go against Trump because they just like, look, we need the best person to win. And they're going off his previous victory when he did win. That was a different time then. I think now, and all this craziness about, oh, President Biden, if he should be here, I should be running against him. Man, you're a former president, man. Like, she was the rookie in the debate, in my opinion. He was a former president.
Yep.
So he should have been like poised, calm, had everything outlined. Man, she took him to school, man. It was ugly. She was just looking at him like he was just like confused. At one point, she looked at him like she pitied him in a way, like he was just a ranting lunatic. And he should know better. I mean, him being a former president, if his team was trying to get him to focus, to kind of clear the narrative about him being unhinged and crazy, they probably did. It's just how many people can control him.
Yeah.
And that is a good. I think she mentioned that. She said, if you're like this, you've proven you're not fit to be president. There's a big difference than when President Biden was on a debate. His was a question of age, not of character or what's the right word? Just help me out. What's the right word?
No, you said he's not a person of character and has no professional coach. So that's the other thing with him is where, like you said, he is a former president, and the way that he behaved at that debate, and I don't think people understand. It's like, for me, it's like, who would I like to represent me? Who would I like to be the face of our nation? And yes, for me, I would like VP Harris to be the face of that. The thing with former President Trump is that he's so divisive when it comes to my values. And I like to have conversations, but some people get, like you said, they're loyal to a fault when it comes to this person. I'm not saying that he's never done great policies. He has had great policies, like you said, when he listens to people. But what I do prefer with her, but again, we would have to see it. The thing that she said during one of her debates is that when she's in her seat, she's going to have Republicans as well as she did say Republicans in her cabinet. You need people in your cabinet who do not think like you do. I love the opposing view because that allows them to see where my blind spots are. But for her to openly say that her cabinet would have a diverse representation of us, that's what I need. I don't need nobody that's going, oh, you're fired. Like even when he was talking about that with the military generals.
Yeah.
You needed those military generals at that time because they were using their knowledge, their intellect, and their experience to help provide you recommendations that you chose not to utilize.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Let me just add something real quick. I love what Jess just said, because like it seems I never ran for president, and I've never been in a debate like that. But one thing I've seen in previous histories of debates is when the presidential candidate looks in the camera and talks to the people and resonates with the people in the audience. When she said, I will have Democrats and Republicans in my cabinet, it's like even if she doesn't believe that, she's telling the American public. There was nowhere in the debate where President Trump talked to the people. It seemed like a lot of ranting and raving. There was of hellfire and brimstone. We're going to go to World War III, and we're going to be in high inflation. Like, there was never like, he looks at the American people and says, look, I'm going to do this. I am going to do that. I am going to bring Democrats together. I think unless I'm missing something, there was one reference he made where he said, oh, it was Roe versus Wade. When he said, oh, the Democrats wanted it, the Republicans wanted it. That was the only mention of it that I recall.
I'll say two things if we can get off this topic, both on both sides. I know you mentioned the Biden thing, like he shouldn't be running against Kamala because Biden was represented by the DNC. Like, I get that. I think there's a point that expires and you got to move on. Like, yeah, you had a great point when it first happened. Like, we can't just switch people out in the middle of something. And I think the only reason they did it because the Biden-Harris money that was established would have disappeared. It was 25 million or something like that. So they wanted to keep that together. I agree with that, but you got to let that go, man. You're facing this new opponent, whatever you want to call them, new person. You got to let it go.
Yeah. It's like a football team. If you got the backup quarterback, and you should be salivating at the mouth, you know?
Right. You got to let it go.
Like they don't know what to do. Anyway.
The other thing I agree with Harris about is that when she kept making references, I think it was at the beginning, like it seems like President Trump wants to divide people and she wants to bring people together. I think that's the big thing that kind of resonated with me a lot. I think we do have, when President Trump talks, it's a lot of division, and when Kamala talks, it's a lot of let's come together. Now, some of her stuff is kind of out there, you know, giving people $100,000 for new homes and $50,000 start up a new job and $6,000 per kid. Like, I think somebody made a meme like, all I gotta do is have a car, or have a new job, have a house, and new kid every year, and I ain't got to make any money because it's all paid for me. So I agree with some stuff like that's kind of out there. But I get when you're on debate stage, you don't have a lot of notes. You're just going off the top of your head. Like, I get some things aren't going to come to fruition. So I agree with that. But that's my take on it. But I think it was
points. So to the money piece, especially with the kids, I wish a lot of people would do their homework and stop saying, "Oh, Trump gave me $1,200 for stimulus." I'm like, you have to get that money back that tax year as well if you are not paying attention. So I'm like, he did not give you anything.
Yeah. But we can go up one more topipic. I want to talk about the Shannon Sharp.
Did y'all talk
thing.
about Shannon Sharp? Okay.
Nah, see,
yes, because I would like to know who Michelle is.
I'm a little disappointed I didn't catch the Tyreek Hill one, but that's all good.
Oh, it's all good.
I had to jump out though. But anyway,
I think the main thing about Shannon, like, first of all, I've never been on IG Live. Like, we're on IG Live right now, so if y'all on IG, y'all can watch us on there. But I've never been on my phone, been on IG Live, so I don't really know how to do it. But I heard it's a process to go through. It's not like Facebook where you hit a button and go. You got swipe, press, swipe, something. I mean, I'm sure it's not. I mean, everybody be on there. But I don't know. I don't think, was it a mistake? Probably. I would hope so. I don't think he needs clickbait. But, you know, like, the only thing better than money is more money. The only thing better than fans is more fans. I don't know if that's a thing, but Unc is tripping. You have to press 4 buttons to go live. So I don't know. Do you think? Well, I guess my question is: do you think he's going to or should be fired from ESPN?
No.
Do you? So I just have to say this. Do y'all not remember when people were trying to allude that he was gay?
I do remember that.
So I think that I'm like, was this like to counter that?
Clever.
But that doesn't prove that he's not.
I'm just saying, it's like, but people were on that for a while trying to question his sexuality. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was funny.
But then he also has some male enhancements that he produces that he plugs. Thank you. Advertise. Yeah. So he also has that. So it's like when you combine all these things, like, come on, bro. But I do think he should get fired from ESPN. There's been people that have been fired for a lot less. And don't forget when the Ja Morant situation happened, that he went on IG Live, he was trying to blow up his spot. Paul Pierce, thank you. Paul Pierce got fired for less, but people don't like him anyway. Yeah, that's true.
So my thing is, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't see any faces. All I heard was talking, and it was his profile. So for me, if I don't see your face, like, I'm sorry, like, I don't think he should get fired. I really don't.
For what they fired other people for, I think he's suspended, fired on the chopping block.
They'd be crazy.
So from a single, like, I'm gonna say this from a single person's perspective.
No.
from a single person's perspective. So just hear me out when I say this. That's just like somebody having sex and you got on your Apple Watch. So like if you hit the wrong DC, don't do that. Like I'm not saying but I'm just hear me out. So like just say you haven't sex.
Hey Wendy, I'm trying this too. I'm gonna try.
Somebody calls you. And you hit the wrong button, they gonna hear everything from that Apple Watch.
I agree.
So, like O'Shawn's point when he was like, now he had to do 4 points or 4 buttons to go live. How we know because for me, I'm like, you know what? Maybe he was about to go live and do something else. He saw Michelle came in and he forgot he had already did his live, put that phone down, and he was like, let's get the stroking, put the stroking in motion. That's all I'm saying. Like, I really do think he put that phone down after he hit that live button, and he was like, "Ooh, Michelle."
Yeah. Hey, Dale said, "Leave Uncle alone. Healthy male activities." I agree. I mean, everybody does it, or I hope everybody has done it. But
that is of age appropriateness.
Sure, yeah. But I don't know. Go ahead, DC. You seem like you got a lot to say about that. Yeah, you just laughing. Ain't nobody know what you laughing about. We want to
No, because I'm just laughing.
Yes, that. That's why you doing the hokey pokey is crazy.
No, it's funny, man, because like I never thought about that with the Apple Watch. One, because like you must be really getting into it if you like, oh, let me take off, I would take off my watch. I didn't even think about it that way. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I remember one time I made love on the backseat of a car, and the police came and
That's how he be joking.
So the police came.
All right, so I don't think he should be fired. Do I think that it was an accident or was staged? I'm 50-50.
Yep.
And here's why. He said that he got in a room, the phone was down, you couldn't see any video, you just heard the audio. And he said it started going viral. His agent called him and said, "Hey, bro, you on IG Live." He's like, "Doing what?" He was like,
"No, that was after the fact.
Whatever.
That was after the fact.
That was after the fact. Okay,
yeah.
After the fact." So, did you know? I can't remember the numbers. I was trying to find. You know how many people? Watched that? Listen to that audio.
It was like 5,000. It was
and
a lot.
How much money he made off of that? And to your point about the enhancement pills, he's got another deal with that one. So, and then to Jeff's point about, the speculation that he's gay, which I will drop and say, who cares? Like in this day and age, it's not like it's taboo anymore. If he's gay, he's gay. So what? But it's funny when Ocho Cinco was like, "Oh, well, I forgot what he said exactly."
I'm just happy.
I'm just happy.
It was Michelle and not Michael.
So if I had to pick one side, I don't think he did it on purpose. I do it doesn't make sense why he would stage it, but you never know these days. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the noises on the phone, bruh. It's like,
again.
Man, shut up.
I remember one time I made love on the backseat of a car, and the police came and shined his light on me, and I said, "I'm stroking."
Can you turn that off before we get canceled? Oh my goodness.
And then
at least he's motel lover because it looked like he was in a motel. So
and that's what. See, Jess, I'm glad you brought that up. It looked like he was in a motel. That little what's that wood panel looking thing? Like, bro, that don't look like it's in somebody's house. Somebody said it might be Michelle Obama.
How anybody ever address how limited or limited amount of time that video was? It was barely like 2-3 minutes.
What are you talking about?
The video.
He said on his nightcap, he said he was already 25 minutes in.
Boy.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah, he said he was 25. Because that's what we didn't need to reenact it.
Second round then. I just said.
You said what?
I said, how you know that probably went second round? See what
he should have went longer.
The way he sounded, that would sound like there ain't no second round, bro.
That was you sound like you've been practicing that. Stop doing that, man. Pause. Stop doing that.
Bro, it sounded bad. Yo, but the sad thing is, this is what society has come down to. I mean, so many people listen to the videos, put laughy faces and stuff like that.
Right.
Can you imagine what it was like 10 years ago? Like, you have the ability to go viral just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, you're all over the internet. It could work in your favor or not in your favor. He got the job done in 2 minutes. Unc didn't need overtime.
Overtime in the NFL.
Yeah. But I thought it was crazy. I really think it was staged. I really think there was some aspects of being staged. I saw that Mr. Yeah.
Charles
Davis said, Charles Davis said, Jess, it was Mr. for Color Purple.
That is crazy.
Get to see audio for Color Purple. I'm looking now.
No.
I'm looking now.
No. But no, I think a lot of it was staged. I don't know why. I think it was kind of crazy, but I think to Jeff's point, a lot of it, maybe the whole I'm like men or I'm gay thing was probably getting to him. And he's like, all right, F it. Just throw this out there.
Because DC brings up a good point. He's like, okay, 2024, who cares? But you got to think about the generation in which he came up. Like,
that's true.
Some of them still care. Like, I have male counterparts or male friends that just because, you see a gay male and you're straight, you think that male is going to holler at you. They don't care about you like that. So that's my thing, is like, when are we going to let that go to where just because someone sexual preference is what it is doesn't always mean they're trying to come on to you. But some people still think that way.
Right. That's the crazy part. That is the crazy part.
But my only thing I would say, playing devil's advocate, is it not looked at the same as, like, say, female in the gym and the male's like working out near close to him and staring at him? Is that the same? No?
I'm lost.
I guess what I'm saying is, it's like when we say just because there's another male who is homosexual and you're around a straight male, that doesn't mean that the male who is homosexual is going to try to holler at the heterosexual male. But it's an attraction, right? So isn't it the same as a male being around female or female being around a male? Isn't that the same? No?
No.
I don't know. I'll tell you, like, I honestly don't know. Like, what happened to me yesterday, since we're all male and female and male attraction. So I was on the phone trying to schedule a doctor's appointment and walking through Kroger's just trying to pick up dinner to cook for the kids. I kid you not. Like, this dude walked in front of me and then he turned around. He was like, damn, you fine. I was like, damn, I'm on the damn phone.
Hey, man. What?
Oh, that was like, okay, I'm like, that was rude. Like, you couldn't say, like, excuse me, you're attractive. It was like, damn, you fine. I was like, oh my God. Like, oh my God.
Why you get a brother like a thank you and say, damn, I'm on the phone or something?
So, like, in those situations, my mentality. So, like, y'all think it's a joke. When y'all retire, y'all will see, like, the psychology part of me is like, no, the fuck he didn't just say this.
Yeah.
I think for me, I be looking like, I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna use a name. Good afternoon, Michael. I think you're so attractive. So some of my homeboys be like, you lying. Is that how you? I would really approach a person like that.
Oh, right.
But the thing that makes me mad is, and it be like, yo, shawty, you look good. I'd be like, I have the pleasure of speaking with. Like,
but I guess, like, when I see somebody tall as hell, I'll be like, damn, you tall. Like, I would say something like, so if I turn the corner and I see, Jab, like, damn, you fine. And be like, all right, have a good day.
Like, I was just, but to DC's point, being in the gym with the dude and he does it, it makes me feel like I'm in a meat locker. So it's like,
that
I'm talking.
There are places.
The gym be sometimes. But some people do go to the gym to try to get picked up. But when I go to the gym, don't even talk to me. Like, I'm over there trying to concentrate on my breathing and my life together.
To all my men, like, gym is not a place to pick up a girl at all. It is not.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think any place is fair game. It's just the way you do it.
Oh,
it's just
hell
the way
no.
You do it.
No,
you know
no,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying?
no.
Like I had many friends who met and got married because they met each other at the gym.
Okay,
You know,
let me preference.
One example is when,
Oh,
there was
this
guy, his wife was working on a machine. She didn't know how to do it.
Oh, Lord.
The mail came in. She's like, can you show me? He showed her. And then he was like, she was lifting weights. And then all of a sudden, he struck up a conversation. He's like, hey, I'm a trainer. You need some tips. Cool, let's meet. Next thing you know, they married.
Okay, that's
2
fine.
years later.
So, situations like that, I agree with.
His approach was on.
There you go.
Approach. That's the point I'm trying to say. Every place is fair game. It's just the way you approach it. See, Del Brown said the gym is my safe space. Don't bother me. Nah, that ain't true, man.
He's saying, let me put my headphones on, get my lift in, and get out.
I'm not single, but I gotta imagine it's hard out there for some pimps, man. They trying to figure out a way, what they call pickup lines. It's been a while. And they just probably felt like that was the best pickup line. Like, damn, you fine. And then
it made me realize real quick. I was like, girl, you back in the South for real.
The South.
It makes me think about the movies and stuff. But yeah, it was almost like, I was like, damn, did he just do an about face? Like, he did an about face. And then he was like, damn, you fine.
Oh, that's too much. Yeah, you do all that. Like, if you just cross somebody, and just say it and move. Yeah, but you turn around and say something like that's crazy.
He had one day because I think he was trying to look at something at another aisle that he had passed by, and then when he turned around, he looked for a little bit, then he went, and then he turned back around, and then that's what he said. I was like, "Oh Lord."
Yeah, I know dudes be doing that at gas stations. It don't matter. It don't matter.
I see Wendy all the time, and I do that, man. I just can't help myself in a meeting.
That's different.
I went there. I went to a meeting she was having at work just to see her lunch, and she was doing a brief. I'm like, damn, you fine. I can't help myself. I mean,
that's different.
Men, just like you straight, he was struck by beauty,
You're showing your age right now. That's so different. It's so different.
Oh, be quiet with your high forehead.
Thank you.
You know what? Y'all just stop. We can live vicariously through my single chronicles because it is slightly entertaining.
I'm sure it is, but I guess Jeff.
It'd been funny if you was on the end with your boyfriend and you jumped in.
I got a student. The student was trying to be like, "Oh my God, G-Player, you're not married. My dad's not married. I'm a hook."
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Baby, before I knew it, I was like, I don't get my money and my honey in the same location. My coworker looked at me. What did you say? I said, you heard what I just said. Like, Charlie.
Now I come to work, get paid, and date somebody. That's crazy.
Like, no, sir.
But no, I don't know. I'll leave that where it's at. I do agree with you, DC, that it seems like there's no place that's safe from a single female or a single male to possibly be talked to. Yeah, I don't think there. But I agree with Jess. It's all about the approach. It's all about your approach.
Yeah, too. But too, y'all, is when I say I just sit back and reflect sometimes. Like last night, I went to an event in Atlanta in the area called the Battery, and like it was really nice. So I ended up because I'm cheap, so parked at a hotel that was close. The hotel offered a shuttle bus, so I took that shuttle to the Battery. It was almost like an R&B trivia type thing. Okay. It had 2 DJs. You would do the trivia. You had food and drinks. But it was nice just to see the different variety of people all at once. But even just watching, because I'm a people watcher too. So just watching some of the people and how they were, dancing and talking to people. But I ended up having it was a couple, girl and her boyfriend that I was standing right beside, and we were like, wow, like it's so different. Like people like are grinding or like how they'll run up on you behind. I said, baby, you get that elbow real quick if you were to run up behind me like that.
Not the elbow.
Like, look,
the people's elbow.
Like, I learned that, being a Delta too, the stroke. Roll up on you like that. But it's just a different type of world. Yeah. Or like I had one guy roll up on me last night. I think this was probably by far the best one because I almost spit out my popcorn. He was like, "Oh my God!" He said, "Are you an influencer? Because you got some beautiful teeth." I was just like, "Oh my God!" Like
beautiful teeth to be an influencer.
Hey, that helps.
Not
And a
like
lot
a
of
toothpaste
people-
commercial. Automatically it affluence because your teeth is stuck.
You want to be up there with a
a lot
jacked
of
up
people,
pit
I guess,
stone.
come here to
Yeah.
get like
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a lot of influencers in Atlanta. I was like, no, I'm just a regular person just trying to have a good night and listen to some good music.
Yeah. Well, shoot, man, this is a good episode.
I disagree with that. I would argue that, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of a flaw like a chipped tooth. Nothing wrong with that. It shows your personality,
You're right. And we're going to go to the closest dentist to make sure that they even out that for you.
Right.
I had my fill, man, but it fell out again. I was like, man, forget it. I'm just gonna leave it that way.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
No problem.
The military will always.
But the teeth is the most important part to me.
Amen.
If God, some people are like, I need to be physically attracted to you. Like your teeth needs to be like well kept. Like that's just.
And then, I agree with that. You don't want no yuck mouth, but ain't nothing wrong with a little chipped tooth.
Say the one for Philly. Yeah. Philly's finest on your TV right now. Yeah. Philly's finest.
It shows my Philly side.
You can go get a gold cap and put it on there.
Yeah. He said dental benefits make you fine. He trying to holler for the fits.
Not for the fits. That's crazy. Well,
okay, all right.
Good episode, man. I'm glad we got all four of us on here. I know Dale had to jump off, but that was nice, man. Giving all four of us. It's been a while.
He had to go boo-boo or something?
Nah, he had to go to sleep.
The correct terminology is if he had to go make a deposit. And
my bad. Deposit.
Deposit is crazy. Not a deposit where you get
That's a good one. I'm about to use that one.
I used to get so embarrassed when them kids used to roll up on me in public. I gotta go boo-boo. I'm like, can you please just let me know you need to make a deposit? I said, from here on out, that's what we gonna call it. You go
I ain't gonna take shit. We all do
well,
it.
You know what? But my granddad has a bad habit of saying that. So the older two kids of mine, they used to always say it, I gotta go to the shit house. Because that's what my granddad used to call it. And I'm like, it's the bathroom. You don't call it the poop house. But that's what they used to call it. I'm like,
drop the kids off at the pool. I go boo-boo. We all do it. you go boo-boo too. We all do. I hope you do.
I make deposits.
Anyway, man, it was good to have everybody on. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back in a couple weeks. We got a couple
Del, you got a 6 Bravo, Del. I see you on there.
Oh,
6 Bravo now.
No. All right. Well, I'll let you later. I appreciate it. Anybody got any last words before we get on?
I'll leave it to Jess. Go ahead, Jess.
I'll say next, we do need to reach out to Jared to get him on to have us a segment. Other than that, it is good to be back with you all. I'm glad that football season has started back. That's what y'all saw me. I was looking at Alabama because we're playing Wisconsin. I was like, I couldn't believe they let them score before us, but hey. But I will tell y'all, I got selected to be the flag recipient at the Alabama versus UGA game on the 28th of September.
Oh, dope.
So I have to wear my uniform. My family got free tickets, but we'll be in there deep as I get presented the flag. And hopefully I get to see, Uncle Nick Saban while I'm there since they just renamed the stadium after him.
Yeah.
They call it Saban Field now.
They playing Georgia that day?
Absolutely.
They can get
Lord. Yes. Why you had to go to the Georgia? Why you had to go to the Georgia game?
I just need my.
We beat Georgia last year. Don't forget.
You said we.
But that was for a whole nother coach. I just need my coach to get a polo shirt.
Yeah.
Not wearing that hoodie.
Oh my God.
He's doing the Bill Belichick.
Wagon hopper.
Roll Tide.
Oh my God. Cut me out the camera.
Roll Tide.
Hold on, DC. I support on NFL. I go with the Saints and the Eagles. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, all right. Hey, cut. All right, I'm gonna cover Peter.
Roll Tide.
We there.
Roll Tide.
All right, I'm done.
Where's the Niner gang one at? You a Niner gang fan too, right?
Bang, bang, Niner gang. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Yes, sir. But for Saturday, Roll Tide.
Woo!
You said that when you're on the kickoff. Roll Tide. Go ahead, Philly. Go ahead. Because y'all gonna lose. Y'all gonna lose on Monday night. Don't forget about that.
Let me see what the score is.
You know, there's only one true fan outside of just here on this panel. You know what I'm saying? I'm a true Eagles fan. You know what I mean? You a Falcons fan. I ain't hear you say nothing about the Falcons, who we're going to cream on Monday night. Let's make a bet. You and I right now on live. No, we're going to make a bet right now. If the Eagles win, and they will, you're going to you're going to put up on the next show that the Eagles are the best football team in the NFL, and the Falcons should be banished to the Canadian Football League, just like they should have been 5-10 years ago when they lost to the Patriots. And if the Falcons win, I'll say, hey, the Falcons is good.
No, that's some bullshit. No, I ain't doing that. This is fucking... Hell no, I ain't doing that. It got to be equal.
All right, it'll be equal. If the Eagles for some crazy reason lose, the next show I will get on the air and I will give a 30-second soliloquy on how the Falcons are one of the best teams in the NFL, and how could I possibly think that the Eagles could have beat the Falcons on Monday Night Football.
I like that. All right, yeah. Can't wait.
I will send it to you, and I will send it in audio and in visual format, because I know you have problems reading at times. So I will send an audio for you so you can play it if you want. All love, though. All love. Yeah.
Can you say bye to everybody so we can get off this thing?
All right, guys. I'll see y'all in the next show in 2 weeks for the corner. I will see you for the corner. Make sure y'all ready. Y'all can get on and jump on with all four of us. It'll be fun. Great times. We love each and every one of y'all. Thanks for being supporters. We are out for this show.
I gotta go make a deposit. We out this thing. Peace.